Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a bench press day, but a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, be greatly appreciated. So I thought today, instead of going too heavy on a training max, I would just test my closed grip bench versus, my more medium grip, which is the pinkies on the rings, which gives me technically what should be the best levers for hypertrophy. So I tested it out, and the 275 felt fairly heavy because I haven't done any heavy close gripping. And this grip was actually easier. The weight moved smoother, it moved faster, it didn't feel as heavy. Didn't even feel as heavy on the eccentric. Nice pause, drove it up. It was very easy. So that told me a lot. And I noticed my triceps hurt, my lateral head of my tricep on that close grip. And I've already said I'm going to spend a lot more time getting serious with the triceps. I'm going to do more JM presses and stuff again, because that's when my triceps were really the biggest. So I started with the same sort of modality I used before to build it up, which was a real lightweight and a ton of volume. But I thought was interesting here, I went up just slightly on these 5x10s with this bench. And, early on, obviously I feel all chest and delt, because that's what we should feel, with higher reps and with this sort of grip, but I realized very quickly my triceps start getting very fatigued as I get in. They start almost cramping a little bit, right? I'm almost noticing some tricep cramping on the last couple reps and definitely the last couple sets. So I know my triceps are a limit, and I decided to mess with the McDonald bar a little bit today instead of some incline, because I don't know that the incline, it may or may not be doing really what I want. I don't know. But I feel like doing more flat work might be better in general instead of messing with incline. Something to think about for the second press. I just feel like I run out of steam so much. But these went good. This was fatiguing. Kind of struggled a little bit on the last set, and I felt like triceps were limiting me. I went to do the McDonald bar, and I only did 135. I got 6 reps, then 5, and my whole tricep was cramping. It was tricep. Actually, when I went down, my hamstring was cramping on the first set I did oval. All right. And the second set, I barely got 5 reps. And I just had to rack it real quick because I almost couldn't lock it. That stretch at the bottom just hammered my triceps. So, no matter what we say and what so many people talk about with the raw bench being, pec so important, and that's with the biomechanics, triceps are definitely limiting my volume. And if volume is where we build our hypertrophy, if my triceps are limiting that, then it's absolutely going to limit my bench going up. If it's creating issues with all my assistance volume, what does that tell us? It's limiting my growth and rebuilding the muscles of my bench, because people forget my bench was higher. I've benched over 350 a couple times on camera. What we have to remember is I went through all that shoulder issue. My shoulder health is great now, so I'm trying to make sure I don't aggravate it with anything. But I feel like the front delts are getting plenty from all this. And a lot of my other work, all my rowing and then band work, is probably going to build the rear delts and even side delts to some extent just fine. I'm not really that worried. In fact, I may just do some face pulls to help with that if I don't want to overhead press or mess with any of that. But, seems like triceps. And, this sort of benching gives me technically what should be the best, mechanical tension on the pec. And I'm probably getting enough volume here to make my pecs grow, right? Particularly just with, hitting a heavy single and then doing 5x10. Now, we're inside that volume range. But my triceps seem to always need a lot of work. And again, I got super strong on the JM press when they were at their biggest. People were right. But watch these. I went to do these, and these were so hard. It was just that stretch reflex. You see me over there, my left hamstring cramping. I'm trying to get set up, and it was really unhappy with me. But look at this. So I'm debating, if I need to just do some of these to get some additional pec work, right, to help me out of the bottom of that bench, or if I should just do closed grip bench after this and then the JM presses, right? And I can always do a few band press downs if I'm worried about tendon health, which I've been doing, but it hasn't really made my triceps stronger. And I think when we see this work, we're realizing what I've been doing for triceps lately isn't working, hasn't rebuilt them to where they were, visually or strength-wise. The JM presses worked really well for me in the past. And I started here, the funny thing is my triceps were cramping. I had to take a 10-minute break. I tried to do the empty bar and they started cramping. I took a few minute break and gripped the bar a little better, found I could do the empty bar. And I just went up to 65 pounds. Remember when I did this before? I did like a 10 by 10 before with 65 when I was building this up at one time. I ended up getting up to where I had done 10 reps with 185, and that's when my bench was at my strongest. Okay? And it didn't take that long. So we might have to look at this and go, can we get the triceps strong enough to get me ready for Worlds? It's in October. Right? I got 4 months. And if not, we got Nationals next year. Okay? Kind of like I've added the good mornings back in because we know what they do for my squat and deadlift. And a lot of my clients don't even need the JM press to get a big bench. Some get big benches and big triceps off other movements. This seems to really do it for me. And it's not bad on my elbows because I take care of my tendons. Okay. Getting those triceps stronger will probably help with my shoulder health. But I ended up doing 12 sets with this weight, 12 sets of 10. Actually, I did like 12 reps on the final set. And I thought about doing some band work, but I'm like, this was a lot of tricep volume because my triceps were beat up from the other pressing. And I somehow got through these. After the first set, they were still a little fatigued. I'm like, I don't know how many sets I'm going to get, like 3. But I kept going. And as I got into the groove, and I just get that pump and that stretch at the bottom, because this does put a hell of a stretch for me on there, that it just kind of flowed. And I'm like, you know what? Just kept going with it, and I felt my triceps light up. I don't know, and I feel almost the whole tricep. We could talk about, the medial head and everything with this. I kind of feel the whole tricep on it. All right, I'm doing pull-ups, chin-ups, and stuff, rotating grips pretty much most days of the week now, just kind of as GPP at this point. That'll hit the long head some anyways. Let's just get that tricep meaty, big movements. You know what? Small exercises have never worked for me, no matter what the research shows. Right? Never gotten particularly good results anywhere with them. JM press has been one of the better things I've done for triceps. And I think it'll rebuild them real fast off muscle memory. In spite of the fact I'm in a small deficit right now. We've got muscle memory, though, to work with. And then we get done with this little next regional practice meet, and I'll be able to put on some size. All right, we'll put some muscle back on after it. But yeah, I'm going to push these JM presses. I'm going to push pull-ups. I'm going to push good mornings. Those are going to be my mainstays. There'll be a lot of triceps, a lot of upper back, a lot of posterior chain. Right, getting ready for meets. But, I was pretty happy with the way this tricep work went at the end, quite happy with it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.